Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We're jumping on quick to talk about Ohtani's contract, which is unprecedented. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel and being part of what we're doing. Ohtani's part of the Dodgers and the contract is nuts. So we didn't have recording on the schedule today, but said let's get together and chop it up a bit. About $2 million now, 68 later. Please and thank you. 700 of them total. That's what Ohtani asked of the Dodgers and other teams, apparently. And the Dodgers obliged, said, sure, no problem, pal. Here you go. So the 700 was shocking. The 2 mil, think just as shocking, if not more. A lot of people trying to wrap their heads around what this is, and that's what we will attempt to be doing as well. My name's Jimmy. His name's Jake. Trevor over there. BBD over there. SeatGeek's the sponsor. Jake, how you doing?
James, Trevor, Davis, doing well. It's agent time of year. My former agent, Nez Bolello, with his fingerprints all over this. Weird he did an interview with Tom Verducci, but won't interview with one of his former players. And I've chosen to be represented by Tommy DeVito's agent. So take that, Nez. You just lost out. I'm doing well. I'm excited to get into this. We're a weird contract pod, and this, your guy Nez's quote in Verducci's article, trailblazer, leading the way. He's always done things his own way, and then he started talking about Ohtani too. So excited to talk about it with you guys. How you doing, Trev?
Well, I was excited until I found out that Nez did an interview with Tom Verducci.
I knew that hurt you a little bit. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that happened.
I'm
He
sorry.
didn't even text me back.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know I'm a LA Dodger fan through and through, so I really love this deal. That's what people told me on the internet, at least, yesterday when I was getting berated by Giants and Padres fans pretty much all day. I think this is like what the essence of our show is about, talking baseball. Like, we're just talking about this. It is unprecedented, and it's a little shocking. Like you mentioned, James, the 700 number was shocking. Then we knew they said a majority of it was deferred, but we didn't know 97% of it was going to be deferred. And I think the whole point of this is just to talk and figure it out. And I think I want to make this point and then kind of get into it. This is not something that all players are going to do going forward, or all teams are going to do going forward, because they can't. And most players don't want to do this. Like, Shohei is just his own thing. And I think it is important also to mention that he told all the teams that they could do this. It's not like a Dodger tax loophole thing. That's just not what it is. James, what do you think?
It's nuts. I think, when we were talking last episode about will Ohtani's contract have any effect on the market, I don't know how it could, because it's so fucking weird. $2 million. I am, to the shock of no one, surprised by the math that it comes out to 46 on the AAV. I read it. Please, I beg you, do not comment trying to make me understand. I got into a back and forth on one of our Watching Guts episodes where this dude was trying to do math for me, and I was like, you don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. You're speaking French to me in German. So I can't understand it, but somehow the annual average value comes to $46 million because of, inflation and a tax. You just get a 4% tax for spending so much money off the top, and all this numbers that I can't figure out. So that's nuts. That's still one of the highest paid AAVs. It's just
the highest.
30 million on layaway, which I saw Saris pat himself on the back because he was like, I thought it would be around 450 to the tax, which is just interesting.
I think that's what it all is. It's they had a number that they wanted to get to, or that had in mind. I'm talking about teams and the Dodgers specifically. This is just another way to, I guess, essentially get there. And for Shohei, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't even know, man. I don't even know where to start with this. Because again, and I'm not a finance guy. I am not a math guy. We say that constantly, but I do know that you don't want deferred payment with no interest. That doesn't make any sense because yes, James, of inflation. So present day value of the $700 million when it gets paid out is $46 million.
Yeah,
a year. That's the whole thing. So it's like
I get that
when you win the lotto,
understand.
people want to take the lump sum. They don't want the deferred payments.
Yeah. Yeah, he's losing money by doing this, but he's also gaining so much money that you can't even really say losing.
He's not
money.
really losing money unless he was going to get 10 years, 550 straight up. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, but that's what people thought he was going to be getting.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, our guy Matty Mass.
He's not happy about.
Who's
this.
on Morning with John Boy? Go check it out. Subscribe. He just said Ohtani. He just tweeted out Ohtani lost $1 billion by not taking the money up front, which again, it turns into a whole awful finance class, I had to retake accounting. I survived finance. But this turns into accounting, so I guess that's not my strength either. I guess what we want to land on are some of the what are some of the facts and things you can take with you? I think number one, I know we suck up to players enough, but the number one reason Shohei did this is to bring on more players to the Dodgers, right? That's
or the team he signed with.
Like if we were trying to list out things we can say factually, that is one we can put in stone.
Well, he's
trying to do the right thing.
We're trying to clear this up for people.
The Tom Brady of Major League Baseball, and this is one way he could do it. Yes, I think that's what people are I think that's what most people who aren't Dodger fans are mad about. Like, well, shit, now they can go and spend more money. But newsflash, they could go spend more money even without this. And so can your owner.
Yeah, but for 10 years after he's gone, they're going to be paying him, and he's going to clog the books for him then without any players. So But
it's not on the CBT at that point.
For all those fans, you can laugh in 10 years maybe. Ha, you still got Shohei on the books. You're hindered if that hinders them then. It's like it's a very good move. Oh, you can sign me and I can get all the money, but also we can get more players so I can win World Series. It's like it's a pretty good move if you're Dodgers.
I think a lot of people are making the point that, well, the Dodgers have this massive TV deal, so they're able to do this. And, we know what a lot of the TV deals around baseball, they're bankrupt. I mean, the team that I work for doesn't have a partner right now. So I get it. Not every team can do this because they don't have the stability of, looking 20 years ahead and saying we can shell out this money because they don't have those TV deals. But I mean, something is going to happen, whether it be a partner come in for your team or the streaming rights change, and baseball's not going anywhere. I just think, yes, the Dodgers have a little bit easier because of the TV deal that they signed, whatever it was, a couple years ago.
Not every team
I get that
can
point.
Do
That is a fair point by people that are saying not every team can do this. Yes, because they don't have the TV deal.
Yeah,
That's
I
a fair
think,
point.
I think the very rich owners are going to be pretty happy that this is being accepted and put into practice. I think the players are going to be pretty happy. They fought to have MLB to have unlimited deferrals in the last CBA so it can happen like this. And then I think the owners that can't compete with this are going to be pretty mad and pretty upset.
So you see the visual reaction from Trev because owners can technically, but small market teams operate differently. It's a fact of life. I know we want a dream world where all these Cohens can come in and buy the 15 teams that don't like to pay out big contracts, but they're not gonna. So that I do think there's a fair sentiment amongst a chunk of baseball fans that are like, should this be legal? And I don't know. For those people, I don't think I can answer yes or no.
Would people be mad if it was just 10 years, $460 million?
No, and that's why
No.
I have a way that I've wrapped my head around it for me, which I'm sure some people will hear this and understand how stupid I am, and other people it might benefit them. In my head, it's easier for me to think of this as a 10-year, $460 million deal with $240 million signing bonus that they're going to give you in 10 years. And then it makes more sense in my head. The AAV is 10 years, 450. The game they used to play is signing bonuses. Now they're playing deferrals at present value with a discount of 4% and all this math. So,
I guess what was the
it's
angle?
a post-contract bonus because he's not getting it when he's signing. He's getting it when it concludes. At the conclusion of this, we'll give you
a
the
signed
rest of it.
bonus.
Yeah.
Instead of a signing bonus, a signed bonus.
Yeah.
You did it.
Completion bonus. Don't
And then
go
people are
dying
mad.
on us.
He's not gonna pay his California taxes. When did people ever get mad that a citizen
Hell
isn't?
yeah.
People, and you know what? I don't know if people are getting mad about this, but you should try to pay as little amount of taxes as legally possible.
Wait, so he's going to pay
Great.
He won't be
Subscribe.
because
living
he's
in
not.
California at the time.
So
bad
when
to
you're
say?
when you're getting paid on deferrals because you're not actively working, it just says wherever you're living.
Yep.
That's what people are saying. I don't know if there's
Doesn't
clarity
really
on
make
this. I've
sense
read
to
a
me.
few different articles. Yeah, I mean, as a guy who's always paid California taxes, I didn't move out of state because I love it here so much. When I was making, my major league salary, I didn't leave, so I paid all my taxes. Don't come pointing fingers at me, but I don't like. Isn't that the point? Like, let's just pay as little amount to the government as possible. And if you want to give the rest of it to charity, do that. But like, I don't know.
The
That's
tax
my
thing,
take.
the tax thing's funny, and the fact that this program is talking about it is electric.
What's not talking about that
I'm
anymore?
super interested in that. Clearly not my area of expertise, but I guess it would be the equivalent, right? Like if you're a Dodger scout that lives in Japan, you would pay them on like the Japanese tax scale and not the California tax scale. I'm gonna stop.
You know what? And people were so stoked when they're like, "Oh, do you know about the Japanese Canadian tax exemption?"
Yeah,
They were stoked on that
I
exemption,
did.
but
Thank God.
yeah, you knew all about that. So I don't know, man. I think the main thing for me, now I'm not speaking for you guys because I don't know how you feel about this. I think it's the Dodgers. It's like the fact that he went to the Dodgers. If he would have went to the Yankees, it'd been the same freaking thing. If they did this, it's just that it's a big market.
I think people don't like feeling outsmarted. I think America is built on getting mad when you think people are using a loophole to benefit them, especially because that loophole, you have to be pretty smart and have a lot of, options available and resources available. So I think it's in America's DNA to be like, you did something smart because you're so rich, you're able to do that. I'm mad at you. So I understand initial frustration and shock from the numbers. But again, if you just think about it, it's 10 years, 460 mil with a completion bonus. You're all good. You can still be upset, but you don't have to feel that dumb. People don't like feeling dumb. And this contract for like 12 hours made me feel incredibly dumb. And I didn't like that feeling.
There was an MLB Trade Rumors article about the whole thing that people were not happy with, but like the way they talked about it, I agreed with most of it. The fact that number came out with so the secrecy worked until it didn't. Because we had no clarification on the details of the contract, everyone saw 10 years, $700 million, and we were like, holy shit, like, okay, $70 million a year. We didn't have the information. We were jumping to conclusions. If it would have came out the other way, like you said, first, hey guys, this is what it is, and we knew it all right away, it wouldn't have been this big hoopla. But the fact that everyone had 10 years, 700 million, 70 AAV a year in their head, and then all of a sudden it got like switched, I think that was the main problem here.
You mentioned people don't like feeling stupid. And people kind of like secrets. I don't know if this is a secret anymore, but Kudo popcorn. It's the official popcorn of UFC. Jim's got a bag right there. He's got the garlic parm. They've got other flavors. You know I'm a white cheddar girl at heart. And you put Jimmy around some salty, sweet kettle corn, Watch your fingers.
Do they have kettle corn?
Watch your fingers. That's all I'm
Are
saying.
you guys fucking joking me?
That's one of Jimmy's weak spots.
You and me both, sister.
Kudo Popcorn, the official protein popcorn of the UFC. My Jessica, big poppy corn girl. That's kind of her go-to snack. Okay. And you'll be amazed how Kudo Popcorn has somehow made your favorite healthy snack tastier and healthier. And for a limited time only, code BASEBALL will give you 25% off at kudosnacks.com. 25% off with code BASEBALL, KUDO snacks.com. Save some money with the official protein popcorn of the UFC. You know there's a link in the description. How you doing over there?
I love kettle corn.
Big kettle corn guy.
Yeah.
Jimmy Crack Corn.
I got one
Kind
more
of my
thing I wanna
Swedish
just
fish.
bring
Like
up.
my hand doesn't stop.
And for me, the Kudo 25%, that's kind of like a 2% discount over the next 10 years that you can.
2.5.
Is
You got it,
keto
bro.
like something that people have to be because of health reasons, or is it just a diet?
So I think this is unrelated. I don't think this is keto. This is
Keto friendly.
Oh, perfectly. Perfectly. No, I think keto's.
Keto's no
just-
carbs?
Just
I think
a diet.
I think there's like a carb light version of keto.
Just a diet.
Yeah,
They get a lot of attention.
I think it works.
I think it's
Get
one
bad
that's like
breath?
for like
You do
people who are
keto
healthy,
right,
not
it
just
works.
like a weight loss type diet.
Can I ask a question? Jimmy's mentioning his mental math to get to the 10 years, 46 per signed bonus. If it's gonna count costs, the Dodgers are going to treat the $45 million against the competitive balance tax because
46.
that's what it is. Why wouldn't Shohei try to get more of that? Like if they're gonna feel that on their competitive balance tax anyway, why wouldn't you get more of that money now? Is that a fair question or no?
What's the math?
Like why wouldn't he do 10 million every year instead of 2?
Like why wouldn't it? Could he get $45 million a year and then get everything else after?
And for 1 million a year for however long?
That's where I wanted to go. There is a benefit for the Dodgers not having to do that and only having it on the CBT. There is something. And again, people, we're just talking about this. We're not freaking contract experts. So I'm actually on the
We've been trying to depict that we're contract experts.
keto. We did keto and taxes today, which is
Yeah.
basically what we
I mean,
do.
I sorted it with the completion bonus.
Label it as a lifestyle pod today, BBD. Trev, you
If
were
you're looking
talking
for me
and
to
then it
answer the
looked like you
question, I'm
fell
trying to
asleep.
find it out right now.
Okay.
I'm looking right now because I did. There is something. I mean, it benefits the Dodgers in some way because they're saving money. I think it is the 4% that you mentioned. They're not having to pay that. Let me go through this.
Well,
If you guys
hold
wanna
on.
keep talking about keto.
Hold on. The 68 mil becomes 44 mil at present value, right? Then you add the 2 mil to get to 46. So there's calculations there. If you want that 2 mil to be 10, then you have to get the present value to be, maybe you have to extend it 20 years to get the present value to be even lower, to get that to be like 30. And then you add the 10 to get to, 34, and then you add the 10 to get to 44. So it is part of the equation. The 68 mil deferred becomes 44, and then you add the 2 million. So that 2 million that you're talking about, Jake, is part of the equation. So
Right.
if the Dodgers said, we can't put more than 46 on the books, then Shohei and the years of when it's going to get deferred, because that affects the present value, and the money he's going to get paid right now, there's a lever. There's like 2 levers that go. So if he wants...
That's what I'm asking. Why wouldn't you hit the other lever more?
Because the Dodgers might not want to extend the deferrals past 20 years.
Why would they care?
I don't know. Someone cares about something here.
Every time you stretch out the money over more years, all the finance bros chime in like, "Oh, that's an incredible deal."
My head. I'm trying. There's a paragraph here. If you want me to read it, I still don't understand it. I'll give it to the peep, though. Ohtani's contract structure does present a big advantage to the Dodgers. Bam.
Bam.
First sentence. I mean, they're actually paying him $2 million a year. Many arbitration-eligible utility players or relievers make more. Paying Ohtani so little seems ludicrous in that sense, even if it is within the rules. A team's CBT payroll uses the average annual value of each contract, and that determines their luxury taxes. But teams also operate off real payrolls, where a player on a 2-year, $20 million deal might actually be paid $5 million in the first year and $15 million in the second, despite his $10 million CBT hit. That didn't explain anything. I don't know.
No, that took us back to
We
month
lost.
ago.
We
I
lost.
lost.
that.
No, we already know that. The AAV is not per year. It's total lump sum.
Hold on. The Dodgers have a certain budget or target with that real payroll, and instead of paying Ohtani $46 million on that payroll, they're actually paying him less than Austin Barnes. That means, in theory, the Dodgers can more easily afford to add more quality players, such as Yamamoto.
Didn't love seeing
Still-
Austin Barnes' 3.5 mentioned in a lot of articles this morning.
Yeah.
Felt like, we didn't need that ricochet. Austin
think
Barnes,
a
you
lot-
earned that 3.5, Pop.
I
Don't
think,
buy
look, the
Shohei
Dodgers-
a dinner.
The Dodgers were smart to do this. I'm going pinky first. I don't know why.
Nice.
Dodgers were smart to do this. Shohei wanted to do this. Shohei has the ability to do this because of what he earns off the field and because he just has already made $50 million and whatever. He's going to get paid all this money. I think there's just so many things that it all adds up. Yeah, some people are mad about it, but for the wrong reasons. But I think there are some reasons you can be mad about it. I
All right, Jake.
think what you want, people.
What do you want me to do here? I have the calculators. You want me to get Shohei more money right now, but say the Dodgers have a fine line at 40, they're not going to go above 46 AAV.
That's what I guess that's what I'm saying. There's a missing link in my head that if it's gonna,
You want him to get 10 mil right now?
I want him to get 46 mil right now.
So that would defer what's 70 minus 46 for everyone at home that can't do it.
For everyone that can't do that,
Okay, I get it. I get what's happening now. I get what's
34,
happening now.
24.
24.
I get what's happening now. Hold on.
I mean, I get what's happening. I'm doing it.
No. The 46, that's just adding on to a fake amount, the CBT amount. They're actually obviously not paying 46. It just adds until they get to a certain point where they'll have to pay the
I have a feeling you're
tax.
so lost that we're ahead of you at this point.
No, you're not. I'm not. Or maybe I am. But I finally got it. I finally got it in my head.
I don't think you haven't.
All right,
In
Jake.
the nicest way.
Jake, you want him to get 40 a year?
46. That's what the Dodgers competitive balance tax is seeing. I'm wondering
They're
why.
not paying that. That's just it's just a fake number.
We know
Right,
that it's
but
not
like-
a fake
but
number.
like
It's the
you're
4%. It's the present value
But like
number.
you're saying, like every team in baseball does, they're going to respect that competitive balance tax because
Okay.
they have to pay
Yes.
on top
Trev,
of that.
listen, listen to me, Trev.
Yes.
'Cause I think you weren't listening when I was doing the levers thing. There's two numbers that go into that fake 46, right? There's one, the number of how much they're paying him. That's $2 million. And then there's two, the present value of what's remaining. What's remaining is 68. The present value of that is 44. 44
Yes.
plus 2 is 46. So Jake's trying to get the number 2 up to 40, or what you said, 46, which would leave 24 mil a year being deferred, and at a 4.3 discount over 10 years, that would be 15.7. So that would be a cap hit of 46 plus 15.7, which is like 62. So that's probably the Dodgers don't want to do that. So now we got to find the balance of all of this to get the final number to 46. So say you want him to take just 20 million.
I think we're going too far into this. I think I figured
right.
out the simplified version of this. all.
Okay, Trev, your turn.
Okay. Teams operate with an actual payroll. Like, hey, let's just say 200. We're going to go 200 round number here, right? They're willing to spend this year $200 million on their payroll. Now, there is the tax, and let's just say that is, 200, the first tier. Let's just call it 200. That's the first tier. They are counting $44 million on that fictional CBT number, but they're actually not paying it. So the only thing they'll be paying that on is when they go over the tax, which is at the first time is 25 cents on the dollar, I believe it is. And they did reset it. So I think that's what it'll be for them. So they're not shelling out $46 million. They're actually only shelling out 25% of 44 if they go over that. So they're not actually paying it. It's just added on to the number of the CBT. And if they do cross the first threshold, they'll pay 25 cents on the dollar for that. They're not actually paying that.
Yeah, I think we're having two different. Yes, they're paying him $2 million, and then after that ends, they're paying him 68 a year for 10 years.
Yes.
Jake, it's very hard to find the number you want. If they don't want to go above 50.
Right.
So the best thing I did for you was say he took $5 million a year.
Okay.
That would leave 65 a year getting deferred. And at the current discount rate over 10 years, that 65 becomes 42.6 plus 5 becomes 47.6. So that's higher AAV than the 46 they're at. But I only got him $3 million more current day.
Yeah, he doesn't care about that.
So the Dodgers must care about the AAV number, and maybe we've heard agents I want to set the record for highest AAV. So maybe Shohei wanted it to land.
Oh yeah, Shohei
40.
wanted the highest AAV.
So then he had to take $2 million now.
So will Shohei's contract be on the books for the CBT after 2034? He comes off after the 10 years.
According to my knowledge, yes, because they're already doing present
See,
day
that's
value
that's
now.
where I think the miscommunication is, because it's still listed as a 10-year contract.
It is. So that's why gets the 46 hit now. It's not when he's done playing, there's no CBT hit.
Okay, maybe it
So
just
that's
affects
where it
their
feels like
money.
I'm missing something. Yeah.
Yeah. He will not be on the CBT after the 10 years is up.
Because I get all the finance people coming out and being like, well, Shohei gets the money now, you invest it, 7% interest, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But it feels like I'm missing one detail there with CBT and how Ohtani could get more money now and deferments later. Because if those deferments aren't going against their CBT, then I feel like there's a better way to figure that out. And I guess the other question for me would be, is the basic way to look at this kind of where Jimmy started, like the 10 for 46, like to get to 10 to 700 million, do we think they factored in like a fake inflation? Like how we kind of talked about how, this contract in 10 years, there's going to be players that make more than 50 million a year or whatever it is. Like, so basically this was like an 8-year $450 million contract, but they factored in just funny money inflation.
Yes. They got it to 46 million AAV because that's the highest ever in baseball. They definitely wanted to do that. And that's it, man. I think a lot of it was just the initial shock of 10 years, $700 million without any additional context. We got the context. People freaked out about it. I think if they got the context first, it would have been a different story. I just waved my hand like across the screen 10 times. That was wild. Didn't even mean to do that. I don't know if we accomplished
What are you
anything.
crunching over there, Jim?
I'm very interested in what you offered.
Thank you.
I want to find out, so if he wanted 40 mil now,
Right.
that means he's a year, 40 mil a year now, which kind of what you wanted. If you wanted 46, but 40 mil now a year, that means he's deferring 30. So the AAV is going to be 40 plus the present value of that 30. So to keep it around 6 million, if the Dodgers want to stay under 50 on the AAV, I need to turn that 30 million into 10 million present value. And to do that, I would need to defer it over 25. That's 10.4. 28 years. So if he deferred it over 28 years, he could take 40 on the books now, and the Dodgers would be paying 49 AAV. But that's a 28-year deferment.
Right.
plus the 10.
But I guess if we're
the
doing
contract.
all the finance bro stuff, and hello, lady finance bros as well,
Yeah.
welcome. Wouldn't that equation be like if Ohtani can get his hands on another $38 million a year now, he can make that money go to work for him? Like, isn't that the whole lump sum equation?
The whole point of this was he didn't want to put $46 million on the actual payroll. He wanted it to only be $2 million on the CBT. He's going to have that, but not. On the
But Jake's
payroll.
saying, Jake's saying the opposite. Jake's saying, take money now. If he wanted,
of course that's better for Ohtani. Yeah,
Like the teams are still. The Los Angeles Dodgers are still going to treat their competitive balance tax like there's $46 million on the books. They're not going to treat it like $2 million. So if they're going to do that and you're Shohei, you should get that money, Pop.
Is there a laws against deferrals?
no, but I think that's you guys were missing. We're missing it right now because they're only going to pay if they go over the first tier. 25 cents on the dollar. They're not actually paying dollar for dollar. If he was to make $46 million on payroll,
I don't even know if the tax comes into the exercise Jake's doing.
It does. It does. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the board clearly right now, guys. I'm on it.
I think we're doing two different.
Like Rain Man.
I was just doing a brain exercise of how do they stay the AAV under 50 with Ohtani getting the most money he can. How long would they have to defer the rest, and what would the rest have to be?
That's a brain exercise.
Yeah.
He's real world application. Is
I have a
like
Google sheet. It's open. If anyone wants that,
and that
brain
Google
exercise-
if we
sheet's in
combined
real life.
powers, we would just rule the world right now, James.
Yeah,
Okay, couple more cues.
yeah. Throw them at us, punk.
So,
Yep.
number one,
Yeah.
we all agree on Shohei did this contract to be a team guy and bring in more baseball players.
Yeah.
We all agreed.
And BBD thinks
Didn't
it was
work
a lot
out
of
that
look
way
at
for
me,
him.
look at
now
me.
he's a villain.
Right.
Love
That's
that.
what I said.
Look at me. Look at me. Number two. Well, Trev, you're going to take this the wrong way, delightfully. Every large market team should have been on this contract, right?
Yeah. I mean, without a TV deal in hand, then I can see how some teams can't do this. Because the 10 years, they don't know what their finances are going to be. If you have to pay out $68 million to someone in 10 years and you don't even know what you're going to be making, you can't necessarily do it. I think that's the case.
Right.
That's what teams are going to say, right?
Again, to keep this to the big boys for now, Dodgers,
Mets
Yankees,
have their own network. They could do this.
Red Sox, Cubs, Toronto.
Yes, if you have your own network, you can do this. Could have done this. And that's what they said, that Toronto was like the same. All the deals were probably going to be this because he brought it to the table.
He presented this to every team he talked to.
Yes.
That got to the point of even talking about numbers.
It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts. That's why we're talking about it for the third straight day.
What does it mean? They're going to get Yamamoto now? That's what I think. Fuckers.
It just means they're going to get somebody, right? It doesn't have to be Yamamoto, but
Well, no, it was weird. On yesterday's Talkin' Yanks episode, you said you were willing to bet BBD's life that Yamamoto would be a Yankee.
Yep. And then last night I said I now think Yamamoto's a Dodger.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people are tweeting at me like I passed away.
Then people put it in like Reddits as if I was reporting something. Like I am dumber than you guys. Can we just like get that through everyone's head?
I don't know about that. There's some dummies out there.
I don't know.
BBD already wrote your
shit
eulogy
about
so.
Yamamoto's free agency.
I mean, it's kind of nice to be able
They
to hear
posted
your
in
own
Reddit, and
eulogies
then it's just
from
like
people.
100 comments like he doesn't know shit. It's like yeah. I just think that they're gonna get him now. Punk, come to the Yankees.
Everything we've said speculating Yamamoto has been just that.
If
It's
I'm
been
the Yankees, I
vibes-based.
just neg the hell out of him. Oh wow, second fiddle. Okay, wow.
I did see that the Dodgers are after Josh Hader and Yamamoto. So that's
What do the Dodgers even want with Yamamoto? They already got all Sapporo's money and on all the Japanese advertisers. They're not going to like double invest because they want the advertisers want another team. So what do the Dodgers even need for? Is pitching? Just go turn a minor leaguer into him.
I've
You're
convinced
the Dodgers.
I've convinced myself Hader's a Dodger.
Yeah, that makes too much
They
sense.
can jump in
Convinced
there.
myself Hader's a Dodger.
Get Snell too.
Still mad at Nez, actually. Now they keep thinking.
When did you last reach out to him?
I texted him yesterday at 12:21, right after noon. I said, "You gonna come on our show once this is all finalized? The people are asking." Because I did it. I said, "Heard
Right.
you're Shohei's agent." Most people said Shohei's agent. I got crickets, dude. And this guy's
We're approaching 24
dancing around with
hours.
Tom Verducci. Ness, I've known you since I was 8 years
Tom
old.
the Duck?
I didn't ask you for one single thing all during this Ohtani free agency.
You knew Nez since you were 8 years old?
Yeah, Nez's background's amazing. He was my brother's travel ball coach. Was a minor league player first, got hurt in a construction accident, played with Omar Vizquel. Like, there's a lot of background here. He's worked his way up, guys. But now, I'm mad at him. So he's out.
Damn. My Google Sheet's lacking because I don't know the formula that calculator.net uses.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I clicked on another article and I took steps backwards.
All right,
and that's
Jake,
kind of the
Jake.
Next time
process
we
with
learn
this. That's
something
kind of
on
the
it, we'll
process
tell
with
you
this.
guys,
That's
man.
the whole process with this, Jim. I think you need to appreciate that. You're going to take some steps forward. You're going to take some steps back.
Okay, well, I'm trying
Who's
to
new?
say you want him to get 46 right now.
Right.
And everyone knows that 70 minus 46 is 24.
Right.
So let's defer that 24 mil
Right.
down to fucking nothing. 50 years, it becomes 2.9 mil. So if they deferred this over 2.9 mil, his AAV would be 49 mil. Why don't you do that?
Subscribe.
Leave your grandkids with less hassle, Dodgers owners. I inherited my dad's business. Oh, I'm paying Shohei 20 mil a year till I die.
I think Mookie and Freddie have a little bit
Yeah,
deferred
they have-
too, so
they got
he's kind of
deferred money.
dunking on them.
Yeah, you got deferred money. I want to know the legislature about deferrals. If I'm a bank, can I just defer till I'm dead? Let me know. Thanks for listening. Subscribe.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's kind of not about the contracts.
Yeah.
Trev, Dodgers road trips.
Label this
next
a
year.
finance pod, actually, Beeps.
Who's
You can do
buying
free
dinner?
categories.
Like, how does that work? You've got Freddie, Mookie,
Shohei's-
and Shohei.
Shohei's poor as shit, man.
Shohei's
Yeah.
broke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad.
they can pour shame
He's
show.
Smart
gonna-
move
he's gonna
by him.
show up
Guys,
with
I
a-
can't.
Big Dick Barnes.
Bad haircut,
17th
Shohei.
highest salary on the team.
Imagine
Here's
he shows
Shohei
up
at the
just
dinner
like
table.
yeah, yeah. Bad haircuts.
That was me out to dinner with Archer and Flaherty. Oh,
I can't reach.
hey.
Stops wearing.
Jess, can you grab that for me?
It sucks, though, because it got reported how much he made off the field. So he's like kind of on the hook still.
Whoa, what was it?
They said
They
close
said
to 50
40 and
mil.
50?
Mill?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
makes
why he
close
can do this,
pre-
people.
That's why this is gonna cost-
Pre-Dodgers,
this
he's
is a
making
one
close
of
to
one.
50 mil.
And
This
the
is a one
Dodgers,
of one.
and the Dodgers now get to tap into that.
This is a one of
I
one.
have a feeling that number goes up as a Dodger for Shohei. But
I'm not a Dodger fan. I know I have my beautiful MOVA globe here, but I'm not a Dodger fan. I wasn't even a Dodger fan when I grew up in LA.
I like the Dodgers.
Know what I will say though?
The
You're
beef.
one of the biggest LA fans I know.
Oh, I love. Well,
love
yeah,
Los
that's why I
Angeles.
stayed here and paid all these taxes. I
Right.
love California
Clippers.
very much, very much, very much. Go Rams.
You eating kettle corn over there?
Rams.
Oh boy.
Dude, don't you know John Boy Media Football? It's sick. Check the YouTube out.
good channel.
Tommy DeVito, you are his agent.
Jake sucks.
How much would his agent have taken away from this combo?
Oh, he would not have deferred anything. He's like, I don't do deferments.
I
It's
need-
payments-
I need
payments
the
due
money.
now.
He would have added.
Cash. Cash today.
Do you think
Hey,
he knew he was gonna look like that, and like people were gonna, or is that just how he dresses?
Somebody sent our social team like his Instagram account. He dresses like that.
He loves it, man. Handshake only deals for him.
Handshake,
Everything
but he puts your
everything
hand
under
on
the
his
table.
hip to feel the gun.